Welcome to the channel, everyone. This video shows you exactly how to build your own key checker, how to build it from the ground up. Let's get into the video.
Hey guys, this is Mike with Door and Lock Tips. We're going to be talking about key gauges. Okay, look at that. Push them in. All right, we are in. You grab your key checker, say, let me just check that. Oh, and it works smooth as silk. You can see if a key actually works, how to test a key, kind of like you grab your key checker, say, let me just check that. Oh, and it works. Go, no go. The key works, it doesn't. But specifically a Kwikset key. Let's say a client comes into your key shop and he says, I want this key copied. And you go, give me that key. Let me check and see if it actually functions. Not having the lock with you. Can you believe that? Let's get into the show. I'm going to show you how to pin one up. You're going to love it. And also, this is a really fancy, expensive key gauge that covers all the keys. But we're just going to be talking about a key gauge that covers a Kwikset.
I decided I'm going to tell you about this beauty too. We're going to get close-ups of it. It's worth the money.
My community post, I'll show you what else you can make a key gauge cover. So let's get into the show. This is Mike with Door and Lock Tips. Yeah! Don't forget to smash that like button, guys. Smash it.
Close look at this HPC model. Oh man, this is so cool. So if you have HPC key cutters, you'll know about these cards. But this one in particular, you put a key in right here and you can read pretty much any key on the planet because you can code read it. So you're going to have these code cards. You can code read any key to see if the key even works. Isn't that cool? I love this tool. Little pricey though. But if you're in the business, I highly suggest you get it. Yeah. Now I have a standard cylinder made by Kwikset. Well, this is a gem cylinder. Kwikset key. Everybody makes different brands of these same Kwikset keyways, but this is a really nice one. So if you're going to make a key checker, I highly suggest you make something that you can hang on to. Here's the setup. We have to pull a deadbolt apart. Came in this box. It's made by GMS. That's a pretty good company. I have never had problems with that. You know, it's a knockoff, but it's pretty great. Here's the cylinder. We're going to pull this apart. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a bunch of master wafers in there by the company that makes the key, Kwikset. So this is an OEM product. Kwikset. Now it does say Wiser, but it's a Kwikset pinning kit. KW1 keyway. The number is 272. Very inexpensive. Here's the key, but we're just going to open up the lock with that, and then we're going to pin it so it can read every key that's the Kwikset world. So let's go ahead and do that. Looky here, we killer Kwikset pins. They're all colored. The bottom pins are conical on both ends. This is what we want. If you are going to make a key reader, you want the factory pins because the sizes mean everything. I was watching another video and the guy made it out of lab. Okay, lab's great. I have a lab pinning kit right here. I have a lot of lab pinning kits. Now, this particular lab pinning kit, believe it or not, is an OEM sizes. See that 0.023? That's the master pin size we want. And we also want the bottom pin size, which is a 0.172 bottom pin size. Now, I have all of this in my community post, exactly how you need to do this. But if you don't use a real pinning kit, an OEM pinning kit, this just happens to have that size in there. I don't know why. I guess it's because it's a mini. These minis are very expensive, and Lab evidently at the time was putting the OEM size in there. I love this pinning kit. I never use it, but it's always around. Here's what you need to do the job. You need the 0 bottom pins. Okay, you got to have the factory 0 bottom pins. You need brand new springs. You need the top drivers, and they are going to be the factory top drivers, the 0.180. They're not going to be the smaller ones. They're going to be the 0.180. And then you're going to need 5, count them, 5 per row, master wafers, and they are going to be the 0.023. If you do this, you will have yourself a killer key checker. Then get yourself a new cylinder. You don't want to risk it, do all this work, put all those pins in there, and then tell people, hey, your key doesn't work. I'm going to have to pin up your cylinders different or cut you a new key. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't. You want to know if their key works and you can duplicate their key. That's really what you're trying to achieve. So get a brand new cylinder. It does not have to be a mortise cylinder. This is a mortise type cylinder. The plug's in the housing. It's locked in there. So we're going to have to remove that. And I would cut this off so you can hold it in your hand. And then you can do a key checker. So I'm going to cut that off later after the video's over, because I don't want that big old tailpiece sticking out of there. You know, I might even have some funky tailpieces that can go in here, but this is a lazy. Is it lazy? But it's a tailpiece that I'm going to have to cut off. That's for sure. You could use a key checker like this, but look at the sizes on this. There's so many variations in this. I mean, if it fits in there, you could take their key and you could do it like this. You could slide it in there. But guess what else you could do? You can take this HPC model. I already have it preloaded with a Kwikset large pin, they call it, but it's a Kwikset regular house key. You slide it in this very expensive. I mean, these things can be $500. Youch. I just saw one on eBay for $170 though. So look at here. I can read that cut. This thing has a little slide on it, pin, and it just slides over and it goes into the cut of the key, which is really cool. Can't really slide it in there fast, but you pull it over like this and you can read every cut on that key. Now this is high end, and this is really the way to go. If you're going to read a key and you want to be precise, I mean, this is the way to go. But this is $500 or $170. I used the eBay one. It does work. So there's a 5 cut. Somewhere on here's a 5. Yep, 5. So at the tip, it's 5. Sure enough. So this thing really works. I want to be careful with it though. That is a beautiful thing, and you can slide in different manufacturers in the end of it. These cards are pretty hard. Here's a Weiser. Now Weiser's different than Kwikset. So Weiser has 9 cuts to it, or 9 pins. Look at that. So you'd have to set your key machine up to cut a wiser key. And you should have a wiser blank. But we're not doing wiser tonight. I mean, these are just hundreds of these. And I probably can order more. Nice little case. Right in the case. Like so. Slides in there and the manual's inside there. See, it goes like that. Covers over. HPC. It's very nice. But we're going to do this cylinder right now. So let's load it up and see if it works. With factory original OEM pins, I love it. So let's do it. Now this is a key checker too. This does Kwikset and Schlage. It's pretty cool. So it's a smart cylinder, double cylinder. This is for like apartments. I pulled the cover off, and what you can do, the original, that's up there, turn it, set it, put in your key and see if it works. You don't have the lock handy. There's a key checker too. This is pretty cool. I have a video on that. I went ahead and copied off the back of my .003 wedge. And I just wanted to show you. See this right here? The bottom pin is a .171. And this bottom pin right here, I'll just read it to you. It's a .172. So that's 1/1000th difference. Right here is a master pin, and that's .024. And the master pins on this Kwikset pinning kit, OEM, master pin is a .023. See, that's a .024. You could, by adding these up 5 times 1/1000ths, you could be 5/1000ths off. Do you want to do that? I mean, I like lab, and in my community post, I show you how you can buy lab pins to factory sizes, OEM sizes, just like this. Because lab makes pins for everybody. I mean, they probably make pins for Medico even, but I don't know. They might. They make them for everybody. Huge company. Great company. You just don't want to do this when you're making a key checker. Okay, let's take this apart. Got some cool tools. I'll leave everything down in the description. You can get this right from Amazon, by the way. We got to take this apart. This is a Castle nut, and we got to remove it off the back of the lock. Kind of a pain. These things are so tight. All right, we got it in. Got to get it flat. Turns right out. And you're trying to push down a pin. See that pin right there? That pin's spring-loaded. So we'll go ahead and pour that out there. We can just keep all that together, I guess. I'll wonder where it's at later. I'll say, uh-oh, I've lost my Castle nut. All right, let's take this out. We need a follower. I do like this follower. I forget the company who makes this. It might be Kedex. Hey guys, if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe, hit that like button, and tell your friends. But this is a pretty cool little follower. We're going to strip everything out of this cylinder. We're going to gut it. Gut the cylinder. Because we don't know what them top pins are. They come from overseas. So we don't know what they are. So you put your key in. And then you turn it sideways. And then you got to make sure that you don't mess up here. You want to slide this so that the top of the cylinder, it's just like that. Okay. Now there's your pins. Isn't that cool? I do love how this all works. Really cool. So we're going to dump the pins.
They're gone. Pull our key out. This is really obsolete at this point. Now what we're going to do, we're going to check this cylinder, make sure it's perfect. And it is. It's beautiful. There's no oil in it, no nothing. So we can set it down right in our handy dandy Sober tool pinning tray. A knockoff from A1, but A1's out of business, so I guess this company's where to get it. I want to pop all these top pins out. Gonna listen. Got all those pins and springs. So we dump all that stuff out. Oh, looky here. How many chambers we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chambers. That's cool. So we could put in a longer key, but we're not going to do that. We want to have this specifically for a key checker for a 5-pin. Nicely done on the inside. That's beautiful. This is going to really work nice. So let's go ahead and we will load up the top. I always load up the top first. So how I do this is I load from the back. Now you don't want to get mixed up here. See the cool thing? This has a bearing and it just goes right in those slots. So you can click it and you can load those top pins in there because it's got a slot right there. Isn't that cool? I love this thing. Don't load the last one. Load those first 2. And we're at the back of the cylinder. And look, it don't even fall out because the bearing's stuck in one of those chambers. You need a good tweezers. I use the Lab. Lab seems to be my favorite stuff. So we're not going to use any of those. In fact, let's measure one of these top drivers. Because we got to have 180. Remember? 0.180. And these are 214. So these are monsters. Oh, wait a minute. Let's make this 0. I think they're 214. 213. So we don't like these. These are huge. So you know what we need to do? We need to get them out of here. Let's take these bad boys out of here. We'll just put them, how about over here? How do you like this pinning tray? Look at this thing. It's made out of silicone. And those springs are a lot bigger. Let's put side-by-side spring test here. These are from overseas. Look at how kind of weak these springs are. And these are factory springs, so what do you think? I like the factory springs. Cool, huh? I'm only counting 4. So we probably got a spring caught up inside this cylinder. This is a housing, actually. They can be caught because you can crimp one of the top of the springs underneath that cover. Let me see where a spring, how it should stick out on this one. Yeah, you would see it in there. See that one in there? Might have went flying. Could be right here. I don't see it though. It's kind of funky to lose a spring. That's not cool, actually. I'll probably feel it. If it's stuck in there, I'll feel it. Yep, that dropped right in there. Now we're going to put our top driver pins in. These are a great size. They cover pretty much everything. It's factory. And look at how cool that is with that slot. Isn't that cool? So all I got to do is take my tweezers, And push this down. You can blow it though. You can sling it across the room. See, I just got it covered, and look at that bearing holds it in. I do like this follower. I would go ahead and pull the trigger on this thing. You can always back order it. $14. That's cheap. Let's go ahead and put in another spring. Another driver. See? Look at that. Driver right in there. I push it down. Now I do not want to load up the back one because it's only 5 pin. So I go ahead and push this. All right, now I see 3 chambers in there. And we're going to load the 3 chambers up. That is so cool. What a simple procedure. Now, some top drivers and pins, and springs and all that good stuff are very difficult to do. But not this one. Easy as can be. I gotta make sure. I think I might be a little forward on that one. That's kind of funky. Back this up a little bit. Oh, I know what I was. I was angled a little bit. All right, look at it. I hold it. I'm pushing from the back to hold that pin. I'm bending the pin a little bit. There we go. I got it in. Put this back in. Another spring. I put my final pin in. That top driver, which is a standard driver. Let me see the size of it. 0.180. You got to use that size. Now this we just set aside. We're all loaded. Isn't that cool? We're all loaded. If you ever want this pinning tray right here, here's the brand right there. Now let's load up the plug. Now we got to be really careful not to mess this up. Now you cannot mess up the pins. They go either direction. So you go ahead and start at the beginning. This is number 1. And you got to be methodical. You do not want to miss one of these small little pins. So you're going to count them. That's 1. And they go in nice. They're not tipped over. Got to have 5 per chamber. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. Look at, I had 1 extra, guys. I got 2 extra. Maybe. I don't know. I stopped counting over here, didn't I? All right, let's put them back in order. My fault. My bad. All right, we're going to put in our bottom pin again. That's a number 1 bottom pin, and the pin size is a 0.172. A lot of you are going to need to know this. I have it in my community post, so never fear. I've taken all the heavy lifting out. 1, 2, 3. Oh. 3. 3. If I can get it in there, right? 4. 5. There we go. 5. now, these are called key pins or bottom pins. Got that in. 1, 2, 3. Oh. 3, 4. Oh, man. These are thin little babies. 4, 5. All right, they're all the same height. Notice that. Bottom pin. Ah. Easy for me to do. That is hard to get in there. That's good. We have a good cylinder. Nice, nice, huh? Look at that. Let's put in these are called master wafers. Number 1 master wafer. I think I might have been saying number 2. I hope I didn't mess you up. Got all 5 in there. Make sure of this. Under the heat of battle, you make mistakes. You're going to love this thing, though. All right, now our final load. 5 of these master wafers, number 1 master wafer. Oh. Oh. 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so we have them all in. If you're liking this content, please hit that like button. No, time's almost out. Hit it, smash it, hurry, hurry, smash it, hit it. We could test a key. Do we want to do that? I don't think so. I don't really want to test a key. I know they're in there. Put them in. What you want to do, very gently, is you want to turn this thing. So the top of the cylinder is up here. So turn it so you have the longest point of the follower right there. Otherwise, you're going to have a serious problem. All right, now you want to turn the pins so they don't get bound up in there, and you have a nice flat spot on the plug to slide in here. Push them in. All right, we are in. We are actually loaded. So turn it, lock it in. All right, lock it in. And I'm going to go ahead and load the back here. You got a small spring for this pin in the back. The pin is basically the same on both sides. Now that pin is spring loaded, so be careful, you can shoot across the room. The plug is trapped in there now from the top drivers going in. All right. Oh yeah, here it is. Let's see if I can get it lined up. There we go. Oh, I got it in, man. I sure did. All right. Let's see. Let's test it. Yep. Maybe I'm loose. Yeah, I'm loose in the back. That's what's happened. Let's go ahead and turn this a little further. I want success. There we go. No binding. Let's try another one. All right, here's another Kwikset. All right, it works perfect. Great tester. The reason why we did this, you want to test and see if the key turns. If the key turns this cylinder, that means this key is a good cut. If the key binds and it won't turn, kind of like the original, kind of funky, just so you know. And I think the shoulder's off on this one because I can pull it back slightly and everything works. But if I push it in, it wants to bind up. That's pretty funky, but it does work. And look at it, should work all the way down here, everywhere there's a pin. So this key is kind of messed up. You'd probably want to cut a new key for him. Now, just because it came from the factory doesn't mean it's a good key. And I noticed this very first cut here. I don't know. It don't look right to me. It really doesn't. So it's probably messed up. I can get it to work. It's just kind of catchy. So the shoulder is a weird spot. So that's why we were doing this. Now you can do it with this beautiful HPC tool right here. You can do it with this tool, and let me just show you how this one works. You pull this back, you stick the key in, and that very first cut, which will be right by the tip here, the very first cut is a number 5. And see how when you read that, it's right over the 5. Let's say it's, I'm going to jack it up. Let's say it's about right there. Well, that's junk. But if it's right over the 5, well, this is a good one then. But, you know, you're going to have to pay the price for this tool. I think it's the way to fly versus that key checker. Now, there is a flaw with the key checker, just so you know. Let's say you have a key that is so bad that it's halfway cut between, let's say, a 2 and a 3. Well, you don't know if that's right. If the key is between a 2 and a 3, and you duplicate it, and yours is more like a 3 or more like a 2, and the house is a 2 and you're at a 3, well, then it's not going to work. I don't really like duplicating keys, but in this regard, when you're having a person come in your building and they're saying, hey, I got a key. I need it duplicated. I need 5 of these bad boys. And you go, okay, you grab your key checker, say, let me just check that. Oh, and it works like just as smooth as silk. And you go, okay, I'll cut you that key. Because this one matches their house. But if you take this key, and this has numbers on it, it's a 41355, and you cut the key at a 41355 on your code cutter, which will make exact cuts, but this is worn, well, maybe it won't work, because the worn key is what everything's set to, not to the code anymore. These things are finite problems, but usually 99% of the time, if the key works in your key checker, then you're cool, right? I got to show you something though. Hold tight. Show you what I've done for you. So here's my channel. Now what you want to do is you want to go to my community, all the good guys right there, all my community, right? Or you could go back to where it says post. Post is simple. Go to post and look what I've done for you. This is the quick cheat sheet for building this thing. And you just go right here and look at here. Under Kwikset, you've got the bottom pin, the number 1 bottom pin. You're going to stack up the 0.023 master wafers. You're going to stack them up. That's the number 1. Then I messed up and said number 2. It's a number 1. And then you're always going to use the 0.180 driver pins. Very important. Otherwise, the spring will get squashed in there. And then, let's see. It ranges from a cut of 1 through 6. There are some 7 cuts on some of these keys, just so you know, but they never really surface. If they do, there's a locksmith out there playing around, and he wants to keep you from picking that lock because it's very hard to pick past a 7 cut. So this checker will not do a 7 cut. But isn't that cool? I think this is so cool. Now, I've done this for you, though, also. I put Dexter, how to build a Dexter. So you'd have to have a Dexter lock, and you can make that for your shop. How to do a Wiser. How to do a master padlock. Have you ever wondered if your key really is working right in a master padlock? You cut them things. I have cut master padlock keys, and I can't get them things to work for nothing sometimes. And it'll really be I have the wrong blank. But you can test them right here. Oop, oh, looky there. I had AI build this picture. Isn't that cool? And in that picture, it tells you just how to do it. You got Dexter, and you got, Kwikset. Look at that in the picture. Oh, and look at, I've doubled them up, just so you know. You can get the whole principle behind it. In this thing, you go right here, and here's the whole principle behind everything. All right, and there's a big note. You must use OEM pins. Don't let anybody tell you different, because the 0.003 kit will throw your system off, and you'll get a binder in there. And look at, here's all this again. And then there's a guy. Okay, I got his. I'm going to pull it down. I'm going to put mine in place. But I kept his link right there. If you want to read it real quick, do a screenshot. You can type all that in. You have a link to his little idea of a key checker, but I checked him out, and it just not right. It's not right, guys. So if you follow this principle that I've laid out here, you're going to have a wonderful key checker. But I really highly should get the HPC. That's the definitive way to do this. Really is. You'll love that. There you go, guys. Please subscribe to my channel. Check out my community post. Smash the like button. Smash it. Smash it. Smash that like button. Tell your friends. And I'll have more door and lock tips like this stuff coming your way in the future. I do like key checkers. There we have it. See you around the campus, guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. This was fun. It took 2 days of research to really know what I'm talking about, because I haven't made one of these key gauges before.
but it was well worth it. I think, honestly, if you are in the business, you need a key gauge. You have to test out some keys. But really, this HPC, that covers it all. It really does. It's worth its weight in gold. I say this is wonderful. This key gauge, it only really covers the Kwikset flavor. So please subscribe to my channel, tell your friends, and I'll have more door and lock tips like this coming your way in the future. Yeah. Last tip of the day. Hey guys, this is how you come up with the perfect thumbnail. You pull it from your video. Bye now.